Hey, hi guys. This is Thunder E from Board at Work here. Let me know if you can hear me. I was having some headset difficulties altogether. I can't hear any sound, but at least it looks like you guys can hear me as I talk. So that is fine. I actually need to hear anything. So welcome to my hangout talking about introducing the Nexus 6, the Nexus 9, the Nexus Player, as well as Android Lollipop. Excuse my appearance. Of course, I'm wearing a shirt and a tie, kind of business-like today, but I had some stuff I had to do. But anyway, let's get down to the nitty-gritty here. Today, it was long rumored that the Nexus 6 and Nexus 9 were going to land. It's finally here. And basically, Google has taken off the wraps off one of the biggest long-awaited announcements for the year, which is the Nexus. And I apologize again. It looks like Q&A was disabled, even though it was enabled. I don't know why. So basically, if you have any questions, leave them with the video. As you're watching the video, please leave them with the video. For some reason, Q&A just got disabled, even though I actually enabled it before this video started. So let me just set up the video page so I can actually view your questions off there, and we can get the ball rolling. All right, so new Nexus devices. Let's start off with what we've been waiting for, the Nexus 6. Nexus 6 is right here, and actually let me just share you some images from that device. Here we go. Show you so you guys can get a good look at it. There we go. Sure. So that is the Nexus 6. This is Google's latest smartphone. Basically, the Nexus 6 is built off the framework of the Moto X. The Nexus 6 is a 5.9-inch, basically a 6-inch device. It's got a QHD display. So you've got a QHD display at that resolution, which is very nice. You can see just a look and frame. You've got a power button on the side. You've got a Von rocker right there. It's got front-firing speakers for you on the Nexus 6, and also you do have a 13-megapixel shooter right there in the rear with HDR plus with optical image stabilization. So compared to the Moto X, which didn't have that, this has OIS built in, and you've also got that ring flash in there. Now, some other things also to mention that this is powered by Snapdragon 805 processor. So you've got the latest Snapdragon processor. This is a profile of the Nexus 6 here. Again, the 805 processor, Adreno 4 or 420. No talk of micro SD expansion, kind of like the Moto X also, but does come with 32 gigabyte flavors for this device. Let's see. Let's look at some. Let's go ahead and let me just give you some of the specs here as I go through this, because I just can't remember everything off head. So 805, the battery is a 3200 milliamp battery on this device. You've got that dual LED flash, 13 megapixel camera, comes in either 32 or 64 gigabyte variants, and the pricing, it's going to be priced at $649. Yes, it's not cheap. Nexus has gone away from being a cheap device. It's $649 for the Nexus 6. Pre-orders will start October 29th, so I believe you should be getting them first week of November for the Nexus 6. So that is Google's first device. Now, this, of course, is running Android Lollipop. So it's Android L, which is now the official name is Lollipop for the device. Will be available on T-Mobile, Sprint, US Cellular, Verizon, AT&T. AT&T leaked out last night that is going to cost $49.99 on contract. So if you're looking to pick up a Nexus 6, AT&T's $49.99 on contract might be the best avenue for you to actually pick up this device, just because of the pricing there with it. And hey, how's it going? We have Rod Scott joining us from Tech Guy Smartphone. How's it going, Rod?
Hey, what's up? You hear me?
I can't hear you. Cannot hear you at all.
Not at all? Damn.
Yeah, so while Rod is fixing his sound issues, we'll go ahead and just keep talking about the Nexus 6. Again, guys, the Q&A is down. For some reason, it turned off. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them on the video so we can definitely chime in and answer your questions. So while Rod is taking care of his audio, I had some audio issues myself, which was why I kind of started late. Okay, Ashley Price says you can hear me fine. All right, thank you very much for that. Yes, I will reply comments. This is from Swapnil, says, will you reply to the comments? Yes, I will reply to comments. So if you have any comments or questions, leave them in the comment section of the video, and I will answer them and also reply them as we move along. So again, oh yeah, somebody asked if the Nexus 6 is waterproof. There is no mention of that. I'm not sure. Maybe Rod knows that answer, but there's no mention of it being waterproof or water resistant in any form or fashion. None of that there at all. The Motorola logo is, you can clearly see it behind on the Nexus 6. Let me go ahead and share my screen again so you guys can see that.
How about now?
And you can get a good look at the device. There we go. Rod, can we hear you now?
How about now?
No, still. No. Hello?
Hello?
And for some reason, I can't hear you. I don't know why.
This is the worst.
Volume's up. I can see your mic level go up, but I can't hear it. Oh, you know what? It's me. I can't hear anything off my headset. That's probably why. Hold on one second. So why don't you chime in and let people know what you think about the Nexus 6 while I fix my headset?
Sure, no problem. You know, it's kind of everything we thought it would be. It's a big ass 2014 Moto X.
Yes, I can hear you now. So yeah, go ahead.
Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, so they beefed up some things. I mean, it's more or less kind of the same device, but I think this is I guess more of a new standard for the Nexus line themselves rather than it being a real thing, because you know now they're asking what 650 unlocked.
Yeah.
Ooh. So they're asking for 650 unlocked, and then it's going to be on all 4 carriers, Verizon included, which is just shocked. So it's definitely
US cellular also. So I mean, it's pretty much going to be on everything possible.
everywhere. So it's definitely showing that it's that this is no longer, you know, once upon a time Nexus was geared towards developers and you know those who like pure Android and everything. Now this is really, you know, they're trying to push it out to be an actual competitor as well as what it once was. So
you know, that's the thing. But one thing that I'm not too pleased with the Nexus 6 at 5.9 inches 6. It's a phablet. You know, I love my phablets. My own problem is that when you go to 6 inches, you need to show me software that takes advantage of that size, which is why the Galaxy Note has always succeeded, because Samsung has that multitask screen, the S Pen, all those things. And yeah, I mean, even as much as I love my 1520, right? I love that phone, but there's not much in terms of software features that take advantage of all that real estate, other than you watching Netflix, you know, on a massive screen. So hopefully we see something like that, but we haven't heard anything from Android L that literally covers that aspect altogether. But like you said, it's a giant Moto X. You know, it's got OIS, so that camera will definitely have better pictures.
I hope so, because
Yeah, you know,
Motorola and HTC are in the same boat for me per se, where when it comes to like good cameras, they probably won't. They'll probably be adequate, not good.
yeah, I feel you on that one. I definitely feel you. So the next device is the Nexus 9. So they announced the Nexus 9. I'm just going to share my screen again so you guys can take a look at that. Nexus 9 is made by HTC. Nexus 9 is an 8.9-inch tablet with a let me look at the display resolution again, one second. But I know it's an IPS display, and the resolution for this display is 2048 by 1536 for the display. So it's a nice, vibrant display, pretty sharp. Pricing is for the Wi-Fi model, 16 gigabytes starts at $399, and then moves up. 32 gigabytes is $479, and $599 for the 32 gigabytes with LTE for that. And that's packed with HTTPS Plus as well, quad band, GSM, CDMA, all that fun stuff. Running Android 5.0 Lollipop. Now the chipset here. Now this is a funny thing. I noticed with every single product they announced today, they have a different chipset manufacturer for each device. This is running the NVIDIA 64-bit dual-core K1 chipset. That's the chipset that's in the NVIDIA tablet, right?
I think it's quad core though.
What is it?
I think the K1 is quad core.
Well, is it?
think so.
Yeah, okay. I might have missed it, but
I would hope not. I'm like, don't
yeah,
put
I
it
mean,
too.
but then again, it just might be architectural jumble.
Oh,
But
yeah, yeah,
yeah, true. But it's a
yeah.
64-bit processor. The K1 clocked to 2.3. So apologize if I made a mistake with dual core. If anybody kills me, 2 gigs of RAM, 8 megapixel rear camera. The rear camera we're seeing right here with flash. It's got 1.6 front-facing camera. Battery is 6,700 milliamps. Of course, you've got boom sound on that bad boy, as you expect from everything from HTC on there, and it's a pretty thin, tablet altogether. 16 by 9, 4 by 3 aspect ratio rather than 16 by 9. So, thoughts? What are your thoughts on the tablet?
I love it. I think I think they'll probably not piss people off, but I guess a lot of people are used to the Nexus 7 pricing. That's a bit more affordable, and with the 9 going high end, and it kind of creeps it back up to iPad like pricing, or even the Nexus 10. How much did that retail for when that came out?
That was close to like I think like 499. I believe that's where that
Okay,
started. So.
so they kind of maintaining that. So I guess this is like a smaller Nexus 10, more or less, made by HTC. So I think it's good. I see they're really pushing that over the phone. I don't know if anything to do with the fact that that will be out before the phone, but
I mean, it might be just because, and I think, to me, I think this plays into some of that erosion that they are beginning to see on the tablet side from Windows tablets.
yeah,
As much as I see this, like, I'm not trying to hate before anybody calls me out and says I'm hating, but I see this at 399. I would rather go. I just reviewed the Toshiba Encore, and
yeah,
I'd rather buy that at $200 or 150 for the 1 gigabyte variant and call it a day and
yeah,
just be done. Because when you get to that size range, and I'm paying $500 for a tablet, and all I do is view videos. Then I have a 6-inch phone again.
yeah, yeah,
Like I can still view the same. I mean, like, to me, that's where it's becoming, the lines are becoming very blurred. Where I'm like, if I buy, like, I'd rather buy, like, personally, I would buy a phablet. So if I buy a phablet, I don't really necessarily need a big tablet. Also, I mean, tablet almost the same size. I mean, if my tablet is 10 inches and above, or maybe a 12-inch like the Surface, okay, I'm cool. That's different. But that 7 to 8 inch size range now becomes very murky, especially with phablet. So,
yeah. It's
um,
really redundant too. So
yeah, so that would be interesting. Let's see. We have something here from Buckable Tech. He said they should have left out the QHD display so that they could have kept the phone at a more appealing off-contract price. That being said, I really like seeing Google and Motorola push forward with front-firing speakers. It's about time. Yeah, but HTC basically started the whole front-firing speakers lingo, pushed it up, and I mean, I kind of agree. You know what? I think maybe they should have done two variants. They should have done one with QHD and no. Or actually, no, he's right. They should have just skip the QHD display for
yeah,
the Nexus.
because Android. I'm not gonna. I mean, the Nexus 7 kind of helped them peruse past their tablet problem. That there's no real optimization. No, there's no real differential difference between Android and tablet and Android on the phone, which is fine and dandy. But when you're trying to charge a more of a premium, it's like it's the same thing. Why I might as well buy a Note 4 or a Nexus 6 rather than buying the Nexus 9 because like what the hell?
Yeah, that's very true. So, I mean, it's one of those things where, um, I don't know how to put it. It's kind of, it just puts in a place where it's all you have to pick and choose. So, to me, the Nexus 6 is really now going against Samsung and Galaxy Note. It's no more reference design anymore, and how would that affect with the Note 4 launching this Friday?
Yeah,
And the Note was so well known for what it does that the Nexus just becomes a giant phone compared to the Note. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen comparisons against the iPhone 6 Plus, and I mean, I don't like the iPhone 6 Plus. iPhone 6 Plus has made me like the iPhone 6 better
yeah,
because the Plus to me is just wasted material, and we can see how well like that will compete against the Galaxy Note as it then you're looking at, say, the Nexus 6. How well will that compete also? So that's gonna be an interesting angle there. But let's move on to the next item that was announced, which was the Nexus player. So Google has finally come back into that TV game again. You know, they had a history with Google TV. They had the Nexus Q, which just bombed completely. And I think I got to give Amazon props because Amazon basically was the one that really, I should say, forced them to redo this plan. And the Nexus player is a set-top player box like the Amazon Fire TV. It connects to your TV, comes with a remote control, the one in the middle, for $99. Now, of course, that allows you to stream content, video, all that fun stuff, and play games. And this also has you can get the controller, this optional controller for $39.99. Now, I don't know why the hell do they have the PlayStation setup for the controller. I hate that shit. That's just me though. I prefer the Xbox setup for a controller. But that is that. And then also in terms of pricing for that, like I mentioned, it's 99. The controller's 39.99. Now this is powered by another chipset manufacturer. This is powered by Intel chipset. I believe that's a Bay Trail chipset in there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a bit, which actually is not bad. So and
That's
you know,
like the most promising thing about it.
that's the most promising thing, which means that you should be able to do some good amount of gaming on this because you've got a really powerful processor. Hey, and we have Tori who has joined us. How's it going, Tori?
Made it.
Hi, everybody. Oh, it's only two of us. Oh, hey.
What up, T?
Hi. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining the hangout. I was just going over the what's it called? The Nexus player. Which is their response to Amazon Fire TV and all that whole market space. Now there was no talk of Watch ESPN yet or HBO Go, which I'm sure will come at some point. But anyway, your thoughts. So I'll start with you. I'll start with you, Rod, before I jump to you, Tori. What are your thoughts on the Nexus Nexus player?
I understand it's a reactionary device from the Fire TV, but honestly, I think this is kind of a waste. They should have just added some functionality to the Chromecast and called it a day, in my opinion. I think they should have added some of those gaming and some of those like UI and aspect. Try to add some of those stuff to the Chromecast. I know physically they probably couldn't because hardware. It's only a little HDMI dongle, but try to expand on that a bit more than rather go down this ugly path again.
Okay, how about you, Tori?
So I'm not sure I'd be the best person to answer that because I am not a gamer, and so I wouldn't necessarily care that.
Okay, so but what about the viewing aspects? Okay, the question I'm going to ask is this: is that when the Amazon Fire TV came out, I said a little too late, right? You had Chromecast, you have your Xbox, PlayStation, you have Apple TV, you have all this stuff, right?
Right.
Now, this is now another year after that. We have, Google coming back and saying, oh, here's another thing. Is this a little too late again?
Oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, I mean, I think we kind of like the Apple Watch. I think it has to be in the time frame where the consumers are looking for it. This is going to be if a year later and they're dropping it. It's like, no, I don't want to participate. So, if it were just me saying, if I had to throw shade at something, I would say it would have had to be for me in the time frame where I was actually paying attention to it and actually cared to look at it.
Okay, all right, fair enough. It looks like Warren has joined us. I don't know, is he on a plane or something? Where are you, Warren? You on a bus?
No. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Oh, you're at work.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, work. He got that. I'm at work voice. Like, hey, how you doing?
Okay. All right. So since you're at work, I ask you this quickly. If you can do quick fire thoughts, Nexus 6 and Nexus 9 and Nexus player. What are your thoughts before you get canned at work or something?
I'm in a massage chair, so.
I'm trying to sound too weird on here.
Let me think. The Nexus, as far as the Nexus 6 goes, I think it's.
So are you not going to respond? Like what we can.
Okay. Actually, wait, Warren. Can you stop the massaging chair first before you answer the question? Sorry, guys. This is hilarious. I mean, Warren decided to call us. He's from work. He's at work, and he's on the massaging chair right now. So,
really
but before we do that, let's just answer a few questions here. So some people are asking a couple of questions here. Okay, pricing of the Nexus Player is 99. Just to let you guys know. But anyway, Warren, go ahead.
I think the Nexus 6 is it's interesting for people to get into the tablet market, but I'm not exactly sure where it's going to go because there's no software add-ins with it. It's just stock Android, so is it going to take advantage of its full potential? But any Android device that's going to be able to work on Horizon that's stock, well, that's obviously a good thing. So kudos for that. The Nexus 9 tablet, who cares about tablets next? The Nexus Player, I actually think this is a good idea for Google because I really like the Fire TV and them going after this market in this way. Is a pretty good idea because it differentiates itself just enough from a Chromecast without it being the same thing. A Chromecast is essentially a streaming device. This is now streaming, gaming, and multiple things with it as well too. So I
Yeah,
think the
but
Nexus Player
then
is actually a
again,
pretty good idea.
that blows my question. I mean, I did, and a lot of people said the Chromecast, no, not the Chromecast, the Amazon TV was a year too late. This is a year after that, and are we in
I
that
don't think
position where
I don't
this
think
is
the
going to
Amazon
be?
TV was a year late though. That's the
I
thing. I don't
still
think
think
it
it's a
was a
year
year
late
late.
because even though it's done
Who's
well,
dominant? Who's dominated that market?
Apple
You can't name
TV
anybody.
and Apple
I mean,
TV
no,
has Chromecast.
Apple TV does not dominate that market. It
There are
does
more
not.
Apple TVs and there are more Chromecasts than
Yeah,
any
there's
other of
more.
those ones
There's
combined.
there's more Chromecast, and I guarantee you, there's more Roku boxes out there than
Oh
Apple
yeah, yeah,
TVs.
Roku boxes too. Sorry, yeah, to add that too. But I'm just saying that
Apple TV is like,
it's still
but they're
it's
not
still
good.
it's still a year too late, I think personally. But
I don't think it's a year late. These are coming at a good price from bigger companies with better features and services. Like the Apple TV is still very limited. I remember a lot of people when I was working in retail would return them because they were limited devices. They had everything was just based on iTunes. It's just basically a giant iTunes box. In the end of the day, with it, this has all these other services you can connect it to and more. So I think it's a
I mean, it has no
pretty
Apple
good.
TV has the same. You still have those connected services too. It's not like you don't.
You know, you don't, but it's just
Yeah,
like
it's the same thing. It's
it's
just
still walled off in its
but
own
okay.
thing.
Anyway, let's move on from that. Yeah, because it's just like going to the point where it's still not selling more than that. Jerome Smith says the Lenovo Yoga 2 Pro eats the Nexus 9's ass. Why would I get that over the Lenovo Yoga 2 Pro? So okay, that's another point too, right? Is that we're now in a period where, like I said, if you compare against Windows tablets, the Nexus 9, to me, price-wise doesn't make sense. Then even if you look at what Lenovo is offering, Lenovo's tablets, their battery life runs for literally 18 hours on those bad boys, and the pricing is still cheaper. So why should I get a Nexus 9 tablet other than say because it has boom sound? I mean, any thoughts on that?
It's a developer tablet. That's exactly what it's for. So people develop applications
No.
with it.
Forget it. I'm not talking about developers. I'm saying why would I? Why would the regular consumer
No,
get it?
Bill, there is no reason. There is no
Okay.
reason. As I said, it's a developer tablet. Why are we talking about it? It doesn't mean anything
Any?
in this market. It doesn't mean anything at all.
Okay. What about you, Tori? You were about to say something.
No, I was laughing because I'm straining to hear Warren. But I don't think I think for regular consumers, the trade-off is them having to spend money. So the price point is the majority of the factor. Every time I get a question about why should I buy this, it's prefaced by saying I only have $500. What computer should I get?
Yeah.
So I
Mhm.
think that's going to be the leading factor because basic consumers won't care about it being an 18-hour battery life. They'll care that it's $200 cheaper. So
Cheaper, yeah, than that too. No, I agree. How about you, Ron?
Um, everything that Tori said. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Um, I think I think the tablet I think the tablet market, according to some of the sales, iPad is like was the king, but even those sales are starting to decline. So I think people are starting to realize that tablets are something you don't really need. It's just more of a cool device. Oh, I got a tablet. I mean, unless like, because most tablets aren't doing anything. Surface and some of the yogas and some of the other stuff are actually doing things, and then everything else is just big versions of your phone. So, um, not sure if there's any place for it right now.
Okay. All right. And there's a question here from Wayne Glasgow. He says, "Do you think the Nexus 6 would be able to compete at price? The average consumer wants the most features they can get, while the Nexus is stock Android, which appeals to developers and reviewers." So, thoughts on that, and the fact that, your Nexus 6 is not right now, it's not price conscious, and also, again, you're not getting a lot of features, you're just getting stock Android there. Warren, want to kick it off? Oh, Tori, do you want to say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say most of the people who are making purchases are relying on reviewers, so it doesn't really that kind of is like a stupid point to make, because if somebody is watching this hangout right now and they say, "Oh, Tori advocates the Nexus 6," then they're more likely or more inclined to go get it if they trust my opinion. So that really doesn't have a strong merit point, because the reviewers, unless, like I said, you're based on your money, you're going to go based off somebody else's opinion. Like how people wanted a Samsung after that dumbass selfie thing.
Well, I would disagree with you there, just because like for instance, one thing Samsung has done very well is that they've sold well on the fact that they have features, right? Remember all the Samsung ads is like, if your phone drops into the pool, I can take pictures and do, and crop people out and all that stuff, right? That's what Samsung at least has sold people on, and the rest of the industry is caught up on that, where HTC is throwing in now a 13 megapixel selfie camera. You have all these different features in there. So the fact that the Nexus 6, I can say the hardware feature it has is that it's got a slightly better camera with OIS built in, but it's just a bigger phone with a sharper display. I mean, it depends on how, like, you may say like, for instance, you may sit down there and say you love it. I may sit down and say, well, like Rod, this is just a giant Moto X, which is not a bad phone, but it's
who
just
would really, like basic consumers outside of tech savvy people, who would really know that? My mother doesn't care about, she just cares that I give her a phone and she can brag on it. Like, who would know that?
Yeah.
Who knows that?
Well, I think the deciding factor will probably be what the carriers charge for it.
Exactly.
So if they charge, all right, it's $650, so they're more than likely going to charge that.
Well, AT&T leaked out at $49.99.
$49.99, yeah.
So that's going to be a very good price point for a lot of people to pick up.
If that's all across the board, not just AT&T, then they'll be fine. But if not, then they're going to see maybe this is a mistake or not, whatever. I don't think with the Nexuses they don't really go crazy because they're not trying to make crazy sales. Maybe with this one they're trying to, but kind of copying a phone that's already out. I don't know how well that will turn out.
Okay, how about you, Warren? Can you hear Warren? Your audio is Warren. Your audio is off for some reason. All right, so but while we're still waiting for Warren here, let's go through some of the.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. Yeah, it was I hit mute by accident. But I would say my thing is with the Nexus line is it's all about, going back to what you guys were saying. It's all about kind of telling the story. Samsung tells the story well. That's why they sell a whole bunch of Samsung devices. If Google decides to sell a story on this and they pitch it well, the device will sell. If they don't tell that story well, it will not work. It seems like only two companies really understand this, and that's Apple and Samsung. Everyone else doesn't seem to understand that too well. So if you sell the story well, the product will sell well too.
Okay, I mean, yeah, that's true. And with this kind of soft announcements, I mean, I don't know
trying to sell that, man.
Exactly. I don't know how they, they're going to push that here. In terms of the processor for the HTC tablet, the Nexus 9, someone just posted the Denver processor is actually a dual-core processor, Rod. So
it is, okay.
It's not a quad-core processor.
It's two processors inside of that thing.
I'm not exactly sure about how the architecture works, but the other thing, of course, is Android L is now Android Lollipop. They didn't mention any new additives. People thought it was going to be G9 Prime, and things like that. I mean, so how do you think Android L is going to affect all these devices and the fact that it's coming to Nexus 5, Nexus
Four.
7,
Four.
Nexus 4, right?
Yep.
Or, yeah.
Nexus 4 and all
Uh,
the Motorola devices. Your thoughts on how
well,
Lollipop is going to affect that? And you don't have to lick a lollipop to talk about it. So just saying.
Uh,
well, well, they did make a Nexus 6 and then a Nexus 9, so yeah, there's that. But I think Android 5.0 is it's going to make stock Android a little more interesting. We have to wait to play with it to see what the final sort of build is with it and how it works with the devices it's on. Once we kind of find that out, then we can kind of make a final determination. Is it something that's finally ready to be a consumer-driven OS where average Joe can pick it up, or are we still going to be recommending, other ROMs such as TouchWiz, HTC Sense, LG's UI, and so forth?
Okay. How about you, Rod?
I kind of agree with Warren. I had the developer preview, which was pretty good. Um, this final version looks, like they definitely add a lot more bells and whistles. So I guess I'm curious to see what Material Design does for the Android UI as a whole. As far as the other skins, I'm not a skin person. I hate them all. I throw Google Experience Launcher on every phone just to be done with it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, but that's
I guess
I'm
my
talking
only
about like
plea
average
is to
from us
hope that
stuff.
Samsung would tone down TouchWiz a little bit, um, make it a little less heavier with the material design guidelines, but I doubt it.
Okay. And how about you, Tori?
yeah, I don't care. I installed it. I installed it on one of my phones, and I was like, no, Jesus doesn't want this for me. So, I mean, it's a slight upgrade. I feel just a slight upgrade from, and the name is a turnoff too. Like the whole lollipop thing, I didn't like that either. I just feel like this is, you know,
Well, I mean, it
It goes
repeated
with the
being
candy theme.
Lemon head.
meringue pie. I
yeah.
mean,
I think
It
they're
goes with
all getting
candy theme
stupid now.
now.
I just feel like if it was something like
They
ice
were,
cream sandwich, I was really like,
but they were
okay,
always
a
Oh,
bit.
they have
But
it's Jelly Bean,
what'd
Jelly
you
Bean
say?
Kit Kat,
they
and
were
Lollipop.
always
Jelly Bean
stupid.
Kit
It's
Kat
just
and
now
Lollipop.
that it's like more the code name is now the official moniker now.
yeah.
Yeah, because it's always cupcakes, donut, all that stuff's still been there, but now it's just more
Well,
at the
no,
forefront.
Oh, can't
the,
hear you, Warren. So you have to unmute. Um,
uh,
the other thing too is that none of these devices will have expandable storage. Just to let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of
Yeah, none of them will have
well.
expandable storage.
It'll be like an iPhone then.
Yeah. Well, the the other ones didn't have it either.
Well, I mean, true.
But
I mean,
but I guess we're going premium. You would kind of be like, well, can you throw in some,
exactly.
cloud, Google Drive
Google
storage or some
Drive.
shit?
I mean, that might be the case. Come So for people who want to know, you can pre-order the Nexus player and the Nexus 9 starting Friday the 17th, and then on the 29th you can pre-order the Nexus 6. Now, the Nexus 6, of course, will be available on all carriers. Carriers have not announced pricing yet, but they should announce it probably closer to that date. And if you want to get it unlocked, it's $649. So anyway, before we round up, let's get like general thoughts on the lovely Google announcements that we have had today. So just kind of like a quick fire thoughts. I'll start with Rod, since you were here first. Your thoughts on everything from the Nexus 6 to the Nexus Player, Android L, the way Google made the announcement. What are your general thoughts on what Google announced today so far?
Um, Nothing
yep.
really I'm definitely excited to get my hands on it, but as far as the announcement, it's kind of like, okay, it's a soft announcement via blog post, just as the guy from Forbes said it was. Said it was not gonna be a big thing. It's gonna be like, here you go. Like I said, just looking forward to get my hands on it, but nothing to go push somebody out my way for.
Okay. How about you, Warren? But you're still muted because I can't hear the background noise.
Take those jobbers off.
I don't have it on mute. I
It's
don't
on.
have it on mute.
I'm trying to unmute you here, but I can't. It's
Oh,
not. Yeah, I don't know.
Google muted him. Uh-oh.
All right. So how about you, Tori? The whole announcement. What are your thoughts altogether?
I in general, when I see the announcements coming out, I'm
Hello?
always excited, like there's something new going to come out. But I think that we hit this plateau here, and I don't really know how you get to the next place where you can create excitement. But Google's announcement wasn't any different than Apple's announcement. It was like, oh, okay, thanks. It wasn't like I wanted, like Rod said, to jump out, or it's not anything innovative anymore. Like I think, like I said, we've hit this plateau, and it just is what it is, and that's what we've come to expect as consumers.
Okay. All right. Warren, still can't hear you.
I still can't hear
We
me.
can see you real good though. Your face is right there.
Say something, Warren.
I'm saying something now. I can
Okay.
hear
Yeah.
you
All
guys.
right. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. Your
Can
round
you
of
hear me now?
thoughts. Yeah.
Oh, let's see. Nexus 6. Pretty cool. Interesting to see Google's going into phablets and high end. Let's see where it goes from there. Nexus 9. And anyways, and the Nexus Player. That I think is pretty interesting as well too. Compete with some of the other stream boxes that are out there. So I think those are two probably the most interesting things that are coming from the tablet game. Listen, it's an Android tablet. Who cares? And it's not better than a Yoga. So
All right.
other than that, that's it for me.
For me, the Nexus 6, I've seen it before, just not in a bigger fashion. I don't like the price just because it just doesn't say too well for what the Nexus is. We'll see how well it pushes. It does have wireless charging, so that's also my own little benefit I like in the size. The Nexus 9, again, it's one of those things now. The tablet market has become really mature and plateaued, like you mentioned, Rod. I'm liking the fact that Google is going to different manufacturers with stuff. HTC has a small tablet comeback, so who knows? I won't be surprised they're going to release this as a Windows tablet in 3 months. And to me, that's the one I would definitely pick up. So HTC, if you want to put this on Windows, be my guest. I'll pick it up with that keyboard and be done with. That's just me altogether. The Nexus player, do I have images of that here somewhere? No, I have images of Superman. Never mind. The Nexus player, it's interesting. I again, I'm a little downer on that. I'm glad they have something that you can do some gaming on and have more content. I just find it very interesting that Google has now done a strategic approach, especially with the processors for all these products. You have the Snapdragon 805 on the Nexus 6, the Nexus 9 has the Tegra K1, and the Nexus Player has an Intel Bay Trail chipset, which is probably the most powerful chipset out of all three. So you can do some gaming on there. So we will see how it all pans out. But I think that is pretty much it. Let me just check in to see if there are any questions we have from people here about the Nexus 6. Andrew Cam says, I love LAMP. So I have no idea what Andrew Cam is referring to. So please, Andrew, please let us know.
He loves what?
LAMP. LAMP. I have no idea. Mohammed Almtab says, LOL, I love this competition and where it's going over and over again. People don't know what they want till they see it. That might be true, but when we tend to see the same things over and over again, like Tori said, it kind of hits that wall, altogether. Glenn said Tori should change her mic, but then he apologized and says it's actually he realized the sound was coming from Warren, the background noise. So Glenn's apologizing to you, Tori.
Because I was about to get you. You don't even know, Glenn. You don't even know.
And let's see if there's any more questions here. I think that's pretty much it. Let me just refresh since I apologize since the Q&A was down. So anyway, that's it. I would say thank you very much, guys, for joining in. Matt Copeland says he's pissed. He says he's getting phone calls at work while he's trying to watch this video. So thanks for chiming in there, Matt. And Sam says I think it's a big deal that Nexus tablets are still being made. There were projections of its exit from the Android space.
this might
Do you
be
guys
the
think
exit.
do you guys think it's a big deal or no?
uh,
No.
if Lollipop had something interesting with the
Whoa. Say that again.
for me.
Mm-hmm. Can you start from the beginning?
Oh, I said if Lollipop had something interesting.
Yes! He said
Tablet.
if Lollipop has something interesting. I'm being useless.
Right.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm like I said, if they had something interesting, it would be maybe, but I don't know. We might be looking at the final Nexus tablet because they're
Okay.
not gonna sell.
Anything else?
I mean, we didn't think the last one was going to sell, and still they came out with another iteration of it. So, I mean,
Well,
Apple
they
keeps
took a
coming out
break.
with products that apparently nobody cares about that keep selling. So, I'm not sure, like, how that ideology, you know.
works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I mean, I guess so. Anyway, I'm just trying. I'm trying to like piece my mind around this, just because, like, I'm not cool with this pricing at all for the Nexus. I mean, I expected like $100 bump, but
What?
I think
The
like
six or the nine?
what Pocketable Tech said, that taking, they should have just kept out the QHD display on the Nexus 6. I would have been happy without it. Yeah. So anyway, that's it. Thank you very much, guys, for joining in. I'm going to have another hangout in 30 minutes talking about DC's superhero lineup. So feel free to chime in and join in, guys. I think
I
Rod might be
definitely
joining
won't
me
be
in
here.
that. What do you say? What do you say?
I definitely won't be here.
Yeah, Corey is not going to be in that superhero hangout at all. I think Warren's going to have to head back to work. But thank you very much, guys, for jumping in. I appreciate you guys jumping in during work, at home, all that fun stuff. And if you have any questions or any comments, don't forget to chime in, guys. Do subscribe to all the channels. Subscribe to Tech Guy Smart Buys. That's Mr. Rod Scott. And also subscribe to Glasses and Glitter. That's
Well, I don't have a subscription because I don't do videos often. I just come and help out my tech friends because I love
Okay,
them.
so follow her on Twitter. That's a Twitter handle here, Glasses and Glitter. And of course, Mr. Warren Bowman from BW1.com. Follow him at BW1.com. All right, guys, thank you very much. I will keep answering questions, but in 30 minutes, I have the superhero hangout with Rod. So stay tuned. And Rod says no. He's like
I gotta go to work.
he's like no. I was like, really, Rod? Come on, don't leave me hanging there. All right. Anyway, guys, thank you and enjoy your entertainment.
All right.